Black Sails Season 4 is everything one could hope for from a final season of television. There's a romanticism and storytelling to it that feels unique, while also ringing true as a natural progression of the story and theme seasons prior. Passion and her many faces are at the forefront of Season 4, and form the core by which all our series leads come to a boil and ultimately collide. The world feels larger than ever, and the sense of scale achieved is to be commended. Location variety made this last season feel like a frantic voyage of desperation. I especially liked their depictions of Spain, Philadelphia, and Skeleton Island. On the more technical side, Sails continues to boast a sense of authenticity and ambition rarely matched by its contemporaries. The set design was immaculate, and there were lots of 360 shoots that bolstered the tension and immersion immensely. The effects are used to enhance rather than serving as a crutch or failsafe, and it really shows. More than any before it, this season is built on relationships, and they prove to be very amorphous, like we who form them. One day, a bond can feel like the strongest connection in all the world, and the next, it may well be as fragile as glass. People betray one another for all sorts of reasons, and oftentimes both sides dispute that it was they who were first betrayed. Knowledge robbed of intent and understanding can color the canvas of a relationship in ways not to be underestimated. Even if you think the picture is already finished, a bucket of proverbial paint thrown on the image can change everything in an instant, without a thought for the picture prior. We see this in many of the story's long-standing dynamics. John and Billy, Flint and John, Rackham and Max, Max and Anne, and so on. Even so, Black Sails shows us true freedom lies in what you make of the picture that is your life. For as long as we've followed him, Flint has desperately tried to dictate what that picture will be. The story that will be told of his life when it's done is always at the front of his mind. He spends the entirety of the story trying to shape that narrative, because to him, that story is all he has left to cling to. With those he loved behind him, and his closest confidant coming to oppose him, all Flint has to work towards is this story he has crafted for so long. And the world of Black Sails aids in depicting this despair through its final setting, and my favorite of the series, Skeleton Island. An island in the mist, beyond that which can be known. An all-encompassing distortion. It is a place shrouded in stories. Stories that keep man from ever setting foot on her. Not unlike James, who has presented himself as Flint for so painfully long, that it is both agonizing and terrifying to imagine a life beyond that bloody Misty persona he has found solace in all these years. Can his rage truly be left to become the embellishment of stories? The monster of their tales? Is that not hell? To have no control over how your actions are seen? To forego that illusion of control and perceived agency is frightening. Because what are we if not the captains of our story? Are we even able to sail anywhere of our own free will? In the end, freedom comes in accepting that you have no control over how your story is told. You can't dictate whether you're the virtuous devil or the devious saint in the narratives told of your endeavors. You likely won't be understood. You likely won't be portrayed with accuracy. You will only be a character within stories told beyond you. But there is a peace to be found in that. A call to seize the day and savor the life you live. For only you will be able to appreciate it for what it is, in those precious moments that are your life. This is also a lesson we see imparted to Jack Rackham, who, like Flint, has been so obsessed with the future beyond him that he has often failed to fully revel in the present and savor the life of adventure he's actively living. There's nothing wrong with endeavoring to live a life that makes for a promising story, but Black Sails reminds us, and its central characters, that our story is ultimately one we won't get to enjoy the telling of. so you may as well enjoy the life you have while you're living it, lest you waste something invaluable. We also continue to see under the hood of civilization and witness just how truly uncivilized those under its guise can be. Though I very much wanted him to die, the fate of Woodes Rogers reinforces the theme of our pirate caste being more civilized than England's wolves in sheep's clothing in many respects. The stark difference in how Teach and Rogers are handled when captured is incredibly telling, and speaks to the brutality and bloodlust of the civilized who view themselves to be arbiters of justice, suggesting that destruction is not inherent to piracy, but is instead merely a capacity of men who yield to their darker impulses. From start to finish, Black Sails has proven to be a series that knows what it is, what it wants to be, and what it wants to say. It's a rare thing for a show to accomplish for its full run, which warrants all the more applause when it's achieved. It's a story daringly told, and always done so of heart. Ironically ahead of its time in many respects. It will be a show I miss dearly, and already look forward to revisiting someday. Thank you for listening. Take care.